Obituaries brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Mr. Jimmy D. Isabel, age 74 of Fayetteville, died August 23rd at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Funeral service will be held Friday at 10 a.m. from Curtis and Son North, with burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation tonight at the North Chapel from 5 until 7 p.m. Online memorials can be made at curtisandsonfh.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel directing. Memorial service for Katie P. Haynes, age 77 of Sylacauga, is Friday, 6 p.m. From Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel, with Mr. Keith Dennis officiating. Mrs. Haynes died August 21st at Shelby Medical Center. Contributions can be sent to the St. Joseph Indian School, P.O. Box 326, Chamberlain, South Dakota, 57326. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mr. Bobby Glenn Bunn, age 81 of Alexander City, is today at 2:30 from the Chapel of Radley Funeral Home. The Reverend Matthew Reams officiating. Burial in the Perryville Cemetery. The family receiving friends today, 12:30 to 2 at the funeral home. Mr. Bunn died Tuesday, August 23rd at Russell Medical Center. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Julia Blake Dunham, age 85 of Goodwater, is this morning at 11 a.m. from the Chapel of Radley Funeral Home. Reverend Joe Fain officiating. Burial in the Smyrna Cemetery. Mrs. Dunham died Monday, August 22nd at Jackson Hospital in Montgomery. She was a member of the Goodwater Baptist Church. Flowers will be accepted, or memorial contributions can be given to the Goodwater Baptist Church, P.O. Box 283, Goodwater, 35072, or the Smyrna Cemetery Fund, care of William Futrell, 582 Coosa County Road 122, Goodwater, 35072. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Graveside service for Mrs. Mary Weeks, age 69, also of Alexander City, will be Saturday at 10 a.m. from Rose Hill Cemetery. The Reverend Terry Hicks officiating. Mrs. Weeks died August 23rd at her residence. She was an active member of the Rockford Church of God and taught children's church there. The family will accept flowers or contributions can be made to the Rockford Church of God, P.O. Box 102, Rockford 35136, or the American Cancer Society in Montgomery. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Spencer Red Stockdale, age 63, will be noon Friday at Antioch Baptist Church. Pastor Matthew Leonard officiating. Interment in the church cemetery. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Online condolences and obituary at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary in Talladega, in charge of the arrangements. These obituaries this morning presented by Curtis and Son Funeral Home in Sylacauga, the North Chapel on Highway 21, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations is Curtis and Son Funeral Home, 256-245-4361, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.